Look at these two processes side by side. On the left, a jagged mineral crystal rapidly forming. On the right, a single plant cell dividing. The physical boundary between these non-living phenomena and living organisms is counterintuitive. We routinely categorize the physical world into biotic and abiotic components, yet pinpointing the exact threshold where physics becomes biology remains a persistent challenge in taxonomy. You cannot measure life with a single metric. Simply moving or increasing in size is not enough to cross the biological boundary. Instead, a living system is defined by its governance. It must run on a localized matrix of internal thermodynamic and informational processes. Establishing these rigorous biological boundaries is the necessary first step before we can catalog and map the millions of distinct species that populate the biosphere. Every biological system depends on one prerequisite: localized energy conversion. A living entity requires a metabolic engine. This diagram illustrates that engine in its simplest form. Metabolism is strictly the sum of catabolism, breaking molecular bonds, and anabolism, synthesizing new molecules. To see why this engine is the dividing line, compare biological development with abiotic accumulation. A sand mound or a boulder will increase in mass over time, but that non-living entity grows exclusively via external accretion. It is passively adding matter to its exterior through environmental forces. True biological growth operates differently. It is driven entirely from within by the metabolic engine. It is the physical, outward manifestation of internal thermodynamic orchestration. Once a system maintains its internal energy, the next critical vector is the continuation of the system itself through reproduction. Reproduction ensures the continuity of the genetic code across a species. However, it is not an absolute requirement for an individual system to be classified as alive. Biology provides specific exceptions, such as the sterile mule or the worker bee. Despite lacking reproductive output, these organisms maintain complex metabolic engines. They sit firmly on the living side of the boundary. But these engines have an inevitable physical limitation. Aging is the gradual loss of metabolic efficiency, leading to eventual systemic failure. While the engine still runs, it possesses irritability. This is the system's unique capacity to process and respond to thermal, chemical, or biological stimuli in its environment. An entity is formally classified as living only when it operates within this precise intersection: metabolism, intrinsic growth, aging, and irritability. When you apply that defined boundary to the entire planet, the resulting scale of biodiversity is chaotic and immense. To manage millions of species, science requires standardized analog databases. We call these taxonomical aids.